Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Welcome, Peter and Robyn Pomonis. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. I'm so grateful to have you both here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
You betcha. I mean, when your agent reached out to me and heard the work you guys are doing, 4everBound, it's a fabulous idea. And we had discussed beforehand that I have a number of treasured items I'd love bound of my little brother and sister. I'm 14 years older than them. I was almost their second mom here. But I know parents around the world, not just in the United States, feel this pull of how do I keep these treasured mementos alive? And so how did this even happen for you guys that you came to having the aha moment in creating 4everBound?
Well, it seems to be a surprise to most people, but it was actually my idea to a large part having to do with this. You know what? I had worked for 25 years in a related industry, and I was approached one day by a company asking me to look at some of their binding equipment. And it was really a little not quite in our wheelhouse. So I thought, well, that's interesting. And also at the same time, Robyn was heavily involved in what the PTO, the parent-teacher organization at our school, the grade school with our youngest daughter. And just watching all of the papers and Robyn and I having the back and forth like, honey, why don't you throw that out? And getting the looks like, are you kidding me? I'll kill you if you throw that out. And so I just knew that there was had to be a solution for that. And at the time with the binding equipment came, I thought, you know what, honey, you ought to offer a fundraising for the school. And I'll get some binding equipment, and we'll just $25 a pop, and we'll see if we can't raise some money from the school. And she thought that was a great idea. And about another night later, we were talking more about it, and he said, you know what? This is too good of an idea to do this way. We should really start a company. So we sat there, we brainstormed, we got the company name, we reserved the domain name, and off we went.
Yeah.
Just knew there was a market for saving the originals because so much had happened digitally. You can send your papers off and they'll be scanned for you to get them back. And people still agonized about what are you going to do with them? So we thought, let's put them in a book. You can put them on a shelf. They can be a keepsake. They can be forever. Yeah.
It's just a fabulous idea. And interestingly enough, a lot of the savvy audience guests that come out that are also audience members as well, their business started because of an idea they had or something to solve a problem in their life that ended up solving a problem for a lot more people. And you guys have done just that. Share with me, Robyn, how did you, when the company started, how did the audience or how did the people that you brought the idea to take it, the school and other people, parents?
Actually, I'm thinking of, we were at actually a school party. So it was all moms there. And we had made this little tiny animated commercial, about 45 seconds or whatever. And we were talking to some friends and I said, here, let me show you this. And they looked at it and they all instantly were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I have boxes of that stuff at home. That's the reaction that we get out of everybody. I have boxes of that at home.
Yeah.
So very rarely does anybody ever look at us and go like, I don't get it. But, because they all have boxes of stuff at home. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of, okay, so now how do we get you to get us that box of stuff so that we can now put it into a book? Because like Peter was saying, digital's awesome, digital photo books and all of that. But, you cannot digitize a greeting card, a Valentine's Day card that your child made for you that's folded in half and it's drawn on the front and the back. You can't digitize that. Or a little bat with wings that they made out of a paper plate. You can't digitize that. So originals that people want in the book, that means so much to them. People are still very tactile. They want to see the tears and the rips and the smudges, and so that's what people love about it so much.
No, it's just such a fabulous idea. And how many people have I talked to? It happened to us. We've moved quite a few times in my lifetime, and we've transferred these items, these precious items, in boxes, of which a lot of them have gotten damaged, water damage, moving damage. And some you just lose. You're like, where did that wonderful painting go to, or whatever? And now it's lost forever. And what I love about the idea of 4everBound is that now it's not only in a wonderful bound book, your children are the author of this book that they can carry around and give to their children to look at, and their children's children. So it could just be passed down from generation to generation. Such a wonderful idea.
You totally get it.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to explain any of it. You absolutely get it, because it really is. It's not just for the parent. It's for when their child moves out, to be able to say, and I'll just say, here's your book. Take instead of a box of stuff, here's your finished books that they get to take with them, and then they get to show their kids, this is what I did when I was your age.
Yeah.
So it just continues.
That is so awesome. So tell me about how the process works. Someone has a box of goodies. How do you make that into a bound book? It seems like a really difficult process, because I'm guessing some of it's like you don't want to hurt it, and like, how do you work that through?
Yeah. I'll start since I'm first and then you're second. Does that work? Okay.
Yeah.
So the boxes will come directly. We do work out of our home, and we like that because we have control over everything. Mm-hmm. Everything comes directly here, comes right into the house. I'm the one that prepares all the papers. So open the box, get those papers ready. I go through each one, keep it in the order that it came in. Mm-hmm. And I go through each one. If it's oversized, I will trim it down, or I will fold it. Mm-hmm. Or a combination, anything to get it to fit into that 8.5 by 11 size. Mm-hmm. And I get everything all ready for Peter. If they ordered a custom title page for the front, I'll make it, print it, put it on top, anything for the back of the book. And then I hand it off to Peter.
Right. And I also say that the beginning of the process too, the customer is notified that their papers arrived safely. Yeah. We have them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We feel it's really important to stay in communication with them. Because they're really sending us the treasures, and they want to know that they're okay, and let them do that. So it really is a white glove service all the way around, from click to clunk. So once I receive the finished papers, I actually do the manufacture and making of the cover itself. So everything is handmade for that. From their design of the website, we take the order off the site. We print the cover up the way they want it. It's the right size. And then it took a while to get this process down right, because binding it's everything from paper plates and bags and things made out of cloth that get bound right into the edge of the book. Wow. And so there is a process that we've developed that really securely bound in well to make sure it's bound in, and then we go ahead and we check that every page is right, it's sitting right, and works well. Then I pass that back off to Robyn, and she gives it her quality assurance check. And then the customer is notified that their book is bound, and then they can expect it a certain day. Then they get their tracking number, and then we follow up with them after it's shipped to make sure that they're satisfied.
That's fabulous. I love your quality customer care. That's one thing often I think a lot of business owners, they get their product or service out there, but they don't worry about the back end, or even during the process, keeping the client happy, up to date. How are they feeling about the process? Right. They just say, okay, I delivered the goods, I'm out. But, you want them to have a good experience. So they might come back. I mean, their kids are still making artwork. If they have more than one kid, more artwork. Yeah, it might come down the pipeline.
Yeah.
It's an obsession, actually, of ours. It really is. We are absolutely obsessed that the customer be satisfied during the entire process, not just with their finished book. That's given, but that every step along the way that we're in communication with them, and that we're answering their questions and assuring them that everything's going to be fine, and always has been. So. And even, look, we're human. We make a mistake every now and then, and we always fix it. Ship it back, we'll fix it. It's rare.
We own it.
Yep.
That's right.
We own it, fix it.
Well, that's a good lesson. I love lessons on savvy here, and we have business owners share their savvy lessons. And that's a good one. You cannot go out there in business without thinking you won't have any mistakes or problems. But as long as you're honest with your customer of what can happen, that we're on it, we'll work with you to fix it, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that.
Right. Yeah, our customers, they're feeding our children, they're clothing us, they're putting a roof over our head, and we appreciate them.
That's awesome. So tell me, when they get started, they get to pick out a lot of the inside, like what the cover is going to look like. You said that the inside cover page, the intro, that is something that the customer can go online and start setting up of what they kind of want the book to look like.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so they can go on, they pick their color combinations, any pictures they would like to put on it, font type, color combinations with their fonts, etc. And then if somebody really wants something customized, we work with them. So we will go around, search for the right look for them. We'll do a proof for them, email that back, make sure that they're comfortable with it and that they really like it. So we can do some real detailed customization if they don't like some of the choices we have.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting. Before your company came out, I was in high school and I wrote some key pieces. Like, I think I wrote a piece of music that got an A+, and I wrote a poem in the, what do you call it? The I forgot, like Shakespeare type of language. And I really was proud of it. And I went out there and I remember, because my first job was working in a copy center. So what I did is I didn't bind it, but I put it in this like really thick plastic.
Yes.
And I still have it in my drawer over here, because it's a prized thing of mine. And so I totally know that not only the parents, as you mentioned at the very beginning, but your kids, as they grow up, will have this, that it'll be well organized and in good shape, that they can carry it around and have for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Although our focus is children's artwork and schoolwork, that's what we love, but we also have a whole subset of customers that found us, that send us their letters, family histories, manuscripts, screenplays. I mean, basically anything that somebody wants in a book, we're happy to do it. So
one of the things that has really become popular, that is really in our wheelhouse as well, is that there are many families that send out an annual Christmas letter. And they do it every year, especially when they're young families with their kids, and then they have years and years and years of letters that they say, and they've sent them to us, and we put them in a book, and it really is a family history because it describes their year and what happened to the children. They moved, they got a new dog. Yeah. I mean, all those things are usually in the Christmas letter, and they're really fun to put together and look at, and then they get a whole family history right back in a single book.
Yeah, plus then also with something like that, because it's not original artwork, it's a letter, we can make copies, and then so they can have a set and they give it out in the family. So it's actually it's a great thing. It wasn't our idea. Somebody sent it to us and they're like, she's like, could you do this for us? And we're like, wow, this is amazing. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah. I love this. One of the first things I did for my husband and I's first anniversary, the first anniversary is paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had the first 4 months of our relationship wrote up to 200 pages of letters to each other back and forth. Sure. So what I did is, because my husband's a pilot, is I made a booklet and put them in plastic covers, and the front cover I put a picture of us in the airplane, and it said first flight, and then all of our letters bound in that book. And so you're right, it doesn't have to be your kids. It can be wonderful memories that like that you can keep forever. Oh, that's awesome. Well, where can people find out more and get their bound book today? Where can they do that?
Okay, well, the best place to start would be at our website, which is 4everBound. And the original way, the right way to do it is the number 4everbound.com. But we also bought the other URL, so if you forget and just type in 4everbound.com, you will find us. But either way, 4everbound.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, but I would just go ahead and start on the website, and you can take a look at how it works. We have a lot of testimonials on there for people that just want to make sure that people enjoy the process and like their book. But best place to start would be our website, and then you can contact us. We're extremely responsive via email, and so we're happy to talk to people if they have something custom they want to do or have questions.
Well, I love this because this is, again, like we're bringing back to the table. This is not just your children's artwork, which is wonderful to keep forever, but also anything in your life, whether it be like the love stories of me and my husband, whether it be your diary or something precious to you. And I love your tagline on your website, because memories don't belong in a drawer. Absolutely. Take them out of that drawer. Give you guys a call at 4everbound.com.
Put it in a nice book.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I just have to thank you again for coming to Savvy Broadcasting, share your wonderful idea and bringing your wonderful idea to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
You betcha. If you like this episode, please share. To hear more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to lifeunscriptedradio.com. To become a guest or participate in paid sponsorship, email us at Christina@lifeunscriptedradio.com.